Hey, Southwest Florida, welcome back to Leap It Live. I'm walking into this, doing a one-man act tonight here at the Africa is All History Party. The music that you hear in the background, that's African music. You might say, hey, that kind of sounds Caribbean. Those rhythms, that kind of like jazzy, kind of reggae-ish or whatever. That's because the influences of the continent of the motherland has influenced all the music here in America. We got about 70, 80 people in there having a great time. I'm over here on the other side in the museum. We're at the American Legion, downtown Fort Myers, having a great time. Got a chance to meet a gentleman here who's a friend of mine on social media. That's always a thrill to bumping into people who follow Leap It Live on social media. Let's get your full name.
Hey, I'm Bill Morris.
What do you do, Bill?
I am a teacher at Edgewood Academy here in Fort Myers.
Really?
Yes, sir.
What subject are you teaching?
Well, I teach all the grades. I'm called a guest teacher. Doesn't pay anymore, but it sounds really nice.
Okay. Now, how long have you lived in the Fort Myers area?
I am new to the Fort Myers area.
Really?
I've only been here just over a year.
Have you been to my social event that you heard about, Leap It Live out the way?
I have heard about the Leap It Live event. I have seen it posted. I have seen the advance dates posted.
March 8th, man.
I know March 8th might be tough, but I'm going to make the May one.
Okay.
I got that one unlocked.
We do it every other month. You saw the full posting, right?
Yes, sir.
Right after work, man. Why you can't make March 8th?
Well, I have a commitment usually on Friday nights, but I said, okay, the March 8th one might be tough, but I said the May one, I'm going to have to make that happen.
All right, okay,
I'm going to have to make that happen.
Man, I got to have you there, man. You got such great energy, and me meeting you out there and you pulling me to the side, and you might think that, hey, I'm used to all of that, but it's always a great thing when somebody pulls me to the side and say, hey, man, you're doing a great job. I just want to let you know I appreciate it, because people don't usually do that. They may think it, but they don't really do it, and you actually did it. So I thought it'd be great to get you on the television show. And now to learn that you're an educator was even more appropriate. You're here, let's go back to, you got a chance to go out to the Fences play.
Yes, sir.
And that's what you were telling me about. Thanks for being a part of bringing Fences here. Tell me how you came about Fences.
Well, first, I'm a social media person. You know, I'm on Facebook, I'm on Instagram. I'm on Twitter, but I try to stay. Twitter can get so harsh so quickly.
Okay.
So try to stay a little light on that.
I don't really go out and tweet at all. I got a Twitter account, but at Leap It Live. Go ahead.
Right. So, you know, when I saw, Leap It Live postings and different things, and I saw the Fences posting come up, and I was like, man, because I'm familiar with the play.
All
I've seen
black
the movie,
cast.
seen the movie, you read the book, and I said, oh, right here in Fort Myers. And I live in the River District, so for me to just come downtown and see what's happening, that makes my heart sing. So my mother had approached me about going to see the play, and I said, of course I want to see the play, but then she had a hesitation. And she said, well, I think they have a white lead. And I said, what are you talking about? And then I said, wait a minute now, there was a black Annie, so why can't we have a white lead? I mean, what's the problem? And then she showed me a picture, and I was like, you know we come in all flavors and colors, right? You know.
Right.
And then she showed me the name. I said, that's a Muslim name. Come on now.
He was black.
I said, even if he was white, he has a Muslim name, he's getting treated black.
Right.
So
and he was outstanding.
He was so outstanding. When we went to the play, by the first act, I turned to her and I said, what do you think? And she said, that's Mr. So-and-so.
Right.
Mr. this and Mr. that. She had nothing but respect for the performance, nothing but respect for the performers, nothing but respect for the venue, and of course, nothing but respect for those who produced the show.
And you are one of the rare black people that I've met who actually live on the River District. What's it like living downtown on the River District?
You know, I enjoy it. One, I'm from a cold weather state. It is called Michigan. And at this time, they're battening down the hatches, preparing for a bomb vortex is what they call it. And I'm like, there's some scary terminology in meteorology right now. But I moved down here partly because I could move next to the river. And the Caloosahatchee River, if nothing else goes right in my day, I turn to the west, I look at the sun, the river's on my shoulder, and it's all right.
All good.
And it's all right. So for me, the River District is where it's at.
Let's go back to, you were down from Michigan. What part of Michigan?
I am from a small town called Lansing, Michigan. You might have heard of it. Malcolm X came from there, and a brother named Magic Johnson, if you've heard of him.
Okay. And I'm slowly working my way over to something that's going to shock you. When I first got out of graduate school with my master's degree,
Okay.
my first job that I took was in Detroit.
Yes, sir.
So I worked for the National Bank of Detroit, which you remember, the blue and white
Right,
machine.
right.
I worked there for about 5 years, and then I got a promotion that brought me down to Florida. And of course, I was glad to get out of the Michigan weather. But I got a chance to go to Lansing on many occasions, and
Okay.
I know about Saginaw and all of that kind of stuff.
Okay, now I'll ask you.
Trappers Alley.
Yeah.
Well, you go up in there, and when the trees turn, the leaves turn color. All that.
Well, actually, I talk to my kids because I teach at Edgewood Academy. I'm an Edgewood Eagle. Teach at Edgewood Academy, and I was telling the kids, you all don't know fall like I know fall.
No.
And I tried to explain to them, because it was a part of science, the changing of the leaves and the different types of leaves that we have from the different types of trees that we had. A lot of blank stares.
Right.
Stares.
And when you go through those mountains, man, when those trees are changing, it's just like, wow. Then you really know that there's a creator or something that make this beauty like it is.
Yeah, particularly in northern Michigan, where we actually have there's a color tour, and you can literally drive certain parts of the highway, and you can see it's majestic. And you are correct. You know that you are in the presence of something so much greater than yourself.
You just have to see it, people. And thank God I've been blessed with a lot of opportunities to travel the world and see things. And I had no idea that all these things would come back, and I'll start appreciating travel and seeing the world. Let's sort of summarize why you thought it was important that you come out tonight and support this event that has turned out to be a very nice event.
I had the opportunity recently leaving Olivet College, tiny Olivet College in Michigan, and ended up studying Africa, the continent. So when the brother said 54, I knew about the one undisputed territory that he didn't mention, because I had a chance to study the continent. And for the first time, I actually felt like I knew something about my motherland. So when I saw an event that was actually promoting African culture, I was in the house.
There you go, bro. And that's what we have to do. Come out and support. And it's not. What do you think about it so far? How are you enjoying yourself?
It's beautiful. The patterns that everybody is wearing is beautiful. When they were shouting out to Ivory Coast or Burkina Faso, I'm going, those are just territories on a wristboard that I had seen. No, these are people that are coming from these places with their culture and their dances and their language and their dress and their style and their fashion. And I can't help but feel just in a much larger setting.
Right. And you got the same skin as an African, man. We are Africans, and we're mingling with some native Africans, some African Americans, whites, Hispanics. Everybody is here. And this is going to end up being one of the great events that take place maybe quarterly around here. You can just come out and get into the culture, listen to some different music. Fort Myers is on the move. Thanks for joining us, man.
Thank you, Lee.
Finally made it to Leaflet Live. You see it on Facebook, you see it on social media, you see us on television. Sunday morning, Fox 4 at 8:30 a.m. We'll be right back.